Hello everybody, this is Video Game Homie. Sorry I haven't been making a video at all recently. Look at my dirty stuff. Anyways, I just want to talk to you guys about the retro gaming community, or not the community, but the retro gaming market and DK Oldies really. Um like there's a lot of ripoffs there, and I feel like, I want to try to help everyone else out the best I can with the retro gaming market, because there are a lot of people who don't know better who are like getting ripped off by stuff like DK Oldies, and you see a lot of videos of people completely railing on them, rightfully so, about their misleading products. Like there are some times where people ask for the original controllers, because apparently that's something you have to ask for. And then they're like, oh well, you didn't have that, and even though that they paid extra, they didn't exactly like give them what they asked for, right? That's DK Oldies for you. Also, there's some consoles that they say are refurbished but aren't. I'm sorry about that. They didn't clean it. They didn't do anything like that. So it's like, whatever you do, don't get anything from DK Oldies, please, for the love of God. But also, I want to show you guys the deals that I got with these older consoles, right? So I could give you guys a good idea on where, if you want to get into the retro gaming community or the retro gaming market, I could tell you a few places as to where I got my stuff. So here we got the red Nintendo DSi. Now, admittedly, this was a Japanese import, right? So it may not be yeah, that may not be like something that you're looking for, but this sexy ass red DSi, I don't care. I don't care. I like it. But like basically, I got this for $50. I think it was like 40 something. I'm not sure. Anyways, I got this for $50 on Mercari. Okay, and I could have gotten another one too for the same price, but I was like, no, I already have enough, because I'm going to show you guys the other um the other DSs and 3DSs I have. So yeah, I was like, wow, this is actually a really good deal, and you don't have to go on anything like DK Oldies or any of those crappy like those retro sites. You really don't. They do whatever it takes to rip you off. They really do. So please, by all means, do not go for these. Got this for $50, and I also got the games on Mercari as well for like less than $15 too. So this is just one example. Hold on one second. And then here I got the original DS Lite, and I got this for, I believe, 70 bucks, or no, I think it was still like $60 or something like that. And that's because it came with the game, it came with a case for the DS and everything. Um, and it also came with the stylus and everything. Like it came with everything for $50, and it had a case, a game, everything. So it's like, this is also another example. The only thing that it didn't come with is this, but it came with the Game Boy Advance game, so I don't care. So like, you could see that you're probably asking, how the hell did you get a deal like that with the DS Lite in good condition like this for that much? If you look hard enough, you will get the deals that you want. You really will. Um so yeah, like please, someone tell me how much this is in DK Oldies, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like, what, $90, 100, and they're probably not even gonna clean it. They're not gonna fix it. They're not gonna do anything to. Oh yeah, and it won't come with games as well. Probably won't even come with this or a stylus. Nothing. You know, DK Oldies is a complete ripoff, and retro sites like them are complete ripoffs too. Got this for $50 on Mercari. Mercari. Pretty good. Let's see. Let's see. We also got another one here. 3DS, the new 3DS. I'm sorry. Now, this isn't gonna be just a DS showcase, I promise. But this is the last one, promise. So with this one, I got it for $180, and for 3DSs right now, you will see that that's a really good price. And again, got it from Mercari. I'm not sponsored by them, but man, did I wish I was, because I buy stuff on there all the time. Well, not recently, but yeah. So you see there that this new 3DS was is in good condition too. You know, circle pad works very good. This one is actually, well, it's stiff, but that's how it was when you first bought it too. The face buttons are pretty good. The screen is pretty good. Everything about it is pretty good. And I also got this nifty hard case with it too. This guy. Ooh. But anyways, you will see that like that's a really good deal for something like this. I bet you guys are gonna be like, "What? How did you get it for the 180?" Again, you got to look hard enough. Don't let people rip you off with stuff like these. It's not worth it. It's really not. And if you really can't find it for that good of a price, then don't even bother with it and just emulate it on your PC, your Android, anything. Don't really bother with it, especially because you can get the better versions of those. Really, if you ask me, you could get the better versions of those everywhere else, right? So there you go. So we're gonna move on to another one. There you go. The Nintendo 64. So this one I actually got a long time ago, not gonna lie, from a garage sale, $30. Garage sales are your best bet of getting a good Nintendo or like a good retro console. And if they don't have it, they'll most likely have something that you will be interested in, right? Because or they might just give it for free. They don't know the value of it. But yeah, this Nintendo 64 works fine, even though I haven't really taken care of it, as you could see, very well. Haven't used it in a while. But this guy works great, honestly. Like, I can still play games. I have plenty of games on it, and that I also got pretty good on Macari and other stuff, right? Right, so there you go. Like, oh my god, it's amazing what deals you could actually get if you actually look hard enough. And I also have the controller and everything, but again, I didn't want to bring everything over, so there you go. So yeah, this console was a good deal, and it came with everything, cables, a controller, everything. So yeah, don't let them rip you off like that, seriously, especially DK Oldies. How much do they have this for? Like, I'm gonna guess $120, refurbished, refurbished, right? Quote unquote. Yeah, they're really bad with that, and honestly, I'm sick and tired of them. So there you go, there's that. So, yep, moving on to the next system. So the PS2. The PS2 I actually got, again, from a garage sale. Actually, no, I got it from helping someone out, actually. But, you know, again, you could also get something like this in a garage sale for, like, what, 20, 30 bucks? And this is the original fat PS2, which is the better one, in my opinion, because the slim one is garbage. It's not as sturdy. And it doesn't even have an Ethernet port either, or something like that. Yeah, see, doesn't have this, or something like that. It doesn't have something that the original PS2 does. So there you go. And like, yeah, this thing again works like a charm, except for this like comes out and stuff. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, if I could get it back in, god damn it. You were meant to be an example. Anyway, okay, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, but the disk drive still works. It still pops in and out just fine. Just that part that's just loose. Big deal. Not a huge deal to me. And PS2 games you could get for dirt cheap too, on Macari. I don't know about Amazon, but on eBay, anything you could get anything very, very cheap. So there you go. Like, there's not much to say here, you know, really isn't. And how much is this on DK Oldies? What, like probably $80, probably even more, right? Again, refurbished, you know? I'm sick and tired of these like older gaming companies. You know what? I'll just save the rant until the end. So there you go. Let's get rid of this guy. And then I already made a video about this, but here is the PSP. The PSP. So this PSP, again, got it on Macari for $80. You know, not so bad. Didn't come with whatchamacallit. It didn't have a battery, honestly. I had to buy that on my own. But other than that, it's fine. It works perfectly. You know, it was like someone else's PSP that they took care of and owned for a while, right? So, except for the battery, it was like bloated as hell. I don't know how he did that. But it happens. It happens and stuff like this. So yeah. Got it for $80. Didn't come with a charger either, unfortunately. Had to buy that my own as well. But hey, that's still a better deal than what you would get on Macari, or I'm sorry, on DK Oldies, right? I hope that their site just fails miserably. I really hope so. But again, save that rant till the end. And I got a bunch of games too. PSP games are cheap to get, really cheap to get for like on Macari as well. Like, yeah, again, don't let these sites fool you. Like, don't let them you know, screw you up like that, you know? Sorry, the D-pad is really satisfying to press on. So is this guy. But yeah, I also got the games for less than 20 bucks, if even that, you know? So, again, go on stuff like Macari, eBay, anything other than anything like other than the sites that are trying to make it, you know, make retro gaming like expensive, you know? Don't bother going to those. We're gonna move on to another one. And the other one I have is the OG Xbox. So, here you go. Look at this guy. So this guy, I can't wait to tell you guys because I actually got this one for a good ass deal. And guess where it was? Not Macari, but in a, whatchamacallit. It was in a garage sale. So I got this with 2 controllers, all the accessories and or not the accessories, but all the cables and everything. And a hell of a lot of games. Not games that I care about, but there's still a lot of games for 50 bucks. Every single one of that. I mean, every single one of that. Now, it was years ago, I will say. Like, I think it was like 7 years ago. But still, you can still find good deals like that in garage sales today. You know, especially if they don't know the value of it, you know, stuff like that. And again, one of the only issues with this one is the disk drive. You know, it doesn't, like, it just doesn't pop out. It works fine. It just doesn't pop out when sometimes, blah, blah, blah. But eventually it will, and you'll get over it. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. So yeah, with 2 controllers, all the cables, a hell of a lot of games, the system itself, in otherwise good condition other than the disk drive, amazing condition, for 50 bucks. And all this I did to it, honestly. It's not their fault. So that tells you that if you honestly look hard enough, I didn't even mean to find an Xbox and I found it for that good of a price. You know, you will find a good deal. So moving on to the next one. And I think this is the final one for this video. And that is my Xbox 360. It's the slim one. So I got this, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, for about 80 bucks, 70 bucks. And this one actually works fine, but again, sometimes the games don't read. It depends on the game, I guess, but you know, that's okay. But really, this is a much better deal than what you would probably find on DK Oldies. Like DK Oldies, what has the crappy original arcade Xbox 360 for 120 bucks. You don't get the third-party controllers. Like with that price, that does not include the original controllers. And the console itself is probably really dusty. Won't work past like what like 2 or 3 months because it's the crappy original Xbox 360. Like, this is what happens when you try to take advantage of people, or like that's what happens when you don't care and you try to take advantage of the retro gaming community. It's really pathetic how they do that. And again, I don't like really consider myself part of the retro gaming community, but I do like some consoles that I would like to buy in order to try their games, right? Like more authentically, you know. Yeah, like I'm trying to get a Atari a like Atari Lynx, the original one. I don't like the Model 2. The original one, because I always wanted to try a portable like that, and to be honest with you, it always looked good. It always looked like the better portable out of the Game Boy and the Sega Game Gear, honestly, in my opinion. It looked more interesting, and I want to try the games authentically on there. But again, if it's too expensive, don't bother. It's not worth it. It would just emulate all these games, in which, by the way, you could have mods, you could have all this stuff. It's not worth buying authentically for hundreds of dollars when these systems are not worth that at all anymore, obviously, right? Like, yeah, if you're telling me that the Atari Lynx is worth as much as a Nintendo Switch Lite, you're lying to yourself, obviously, right? So that's how I look at it. It's like these consoles should be dirt cheap. They should not be as expensive as they are, right? That's just people trying to take advantage. It's pathetic, really. But there you go. And then here's the Xbox 360 again. I got the console with, I believe the cables, right? And it was 75-ish bucks. And then I had to buy a controller, a first party controller for 20 bucks at GameStop. So that was what, like 90 in total? Not really bad. 90 something, I guess, not bad. And then the games, which at the time that I bought this were still at GameStop for dirt cheap. Like, but you could find them even cheaper though on Macari. Fact, like you could actually find them for much cheaper online in other places. So it's actually like this console. It's actually really easy to collect for. It really is. This and the original Xbox as well. These consoles are easy to collect for, really easy, and the DS as well. So again, don't let stuff like DK Oldies rip you off like that. Again, they have the original Xbox 360 for 120. Most likely won't work in a few months. Didn't refurbish it properly. Not like the video that they try to show, which yeah, they did it. They did that with only that console, and the rest they did not. You know, so don't be fooled by their stupid little video. But anyways, that's the last of the console. Now I want to give a little rant about the retro gaming community. It's pissing me off, man. Like, it is annoying how badly people are trying to take advantage of the retro gaming community. It's pathetic. They're putting stuff way too expensive just for people like trying to go back to their memories, right? Or like trying to play a console that they did as a kid, right? And it's just like retro games need to find a way to be a lot more affordable, right? And like honestly, they should just be more available. They should just be more available. It is not something that should be hidden behind this one console or something. Now, yes, I did say that emulation is an option. That's absolutely true. You can. But for stuff like the Nintendo 64, unless it's a single player game like Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie, stuff like that, Mario 64, in which are better on emulation because you can actually get the beta. Sorry about that, but you can actually get the beta of those things as well. So it's like the emulation version is actually better because you could get all the levels that didn't make it originally in the game if modders found it, right? So yeah, so really with games like that, emulation is better. But you know, when you're putting out sorry, my God. But like when you're talking about stuff like Mario Party, no, that's definitely better with the authentic version of that. But really, there's like, if you want so badly to replicate something like the N64 back in the day, just get a Nintendo Switch, really. That's better for multiplayer nowadays anyways, in my opinion. Because or that's not better, but I would say that that's a better alternative than spending hundreds of dollars on a old system that most likely doesn't even hold up as well as you think, right? Now, I will say that the old Mario parties are goated, though. I'm not trying to, bag on them. But when you see people trying to sell them for a outlandish price, it's ridiculous. It's really stupid. Kind of like what people are doing with the older Pokemon games too. Completely ridiculous. Why is it worth that much? It's not worth that much. I'm sorry. And not to mention that Pokemon is an average at best RPG, sorry, but it's not even the quality of Pokemon, really. It's just, like, in general, no game is worth that much, especially on these older systems. Well, I mean, that game better be able to transport me to the actual world, and I get to play in it. Like, really, come on now. Making hundreds of dollars for what, Ridiculous. But that's the effect. And honestly, though, people, my message to you is stop buying it. Stop buying into it. And you will stop getting prices like that, for real. My advice is go on Macari, go on eBay, and if you can't find those for good prices as well, then emulate it on a PC. And if you think that it's not worth doing it, then trust me, it's not worth spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on the game itself then for the authentic experience, quote unquote. It's not worth that. Sorry to tell you. If you think that emulating it on a computer for free with better with better specs, by the way, better frame rate, that you could put mods for, then I'm sorry, then this is not worth it. Then you spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on one video game too, by the way, depending how rare the game is, that's not worth it either. You know, honestly. So that's my message to you guys. Don't get ripped off in the gaming community, please, or the retro gaming community especially, please. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.